Today is Earth Day, and although I'm outside in nature a lot, it's just a way to focus on nature and really like spend the day out in nature. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I don't know if anybody else in the world grew up like this, but when I was a kid at school and it was Earth Day, it was like, you plant a tree. I feel like Earth Day is so much more than just planting a tree. It's interesting because in North America, there's actually more trees than there have ever been because people keep planting trees instead of leaving grasslands alone, because that's what the landscape was before. It was just miles and miles and miles of grasslands, which, you know, wild buffalo and, you know, lots of different animals would roam. Even thinking about like Southern Californian landscape, they're really, with the exception of like Torrey pines, you know, on the coastlines and the wetlands, like once you go inland, there really isn't many trees naturally, you know, just kind of chaparral, like arid kind of plants. So yeah, it's interesting that there's actually more trees now than there ever has been. So planting a tree necessarily isn't the best thing for Earth Day. I think planting native is really what it should be, which I've got a little patch in my backyard where I planted some native wildflowers, and so I really hope those are doing well. I'm gonna go check on them today. And I've got a few other little projects outside that I want to do. Yeah, how I'm gonna spend today? I'm just gonna spend today outside. I think I might go to the beach later. There's a really nice dog beach that Strider likes. And this day is also a special day because it's the last day that I'm living in this house by myself. My husband is coming back home tomorrow. My parents came over here for a little while I was in Asia and looked after Strider. But other than that, I've been in this house by myself for for 6 months. You know, it's kind of crazy because when you've had a partner for such a long time and you have a home together and you have your routines and then one of them just leaves, it's a big adjustment period. You know, you find what it was like to live with yourself again, and I did live by myself for a long time. I lived by myself in France for a year and a half. And it kind of takes me back to that time of living on my own. And it's strange. Like, I mean, it's nice that I have a dog though. I think that's the main difference, is because when I lived on my own in France, I didn't have a dog. And I really think even just having somebody else, I guess, to talk to other than you in my house really makes a big difference. Anyway, where was I going with that? I'm so excited for him to come home. It's been such a long time, obviously, since we've seen each other, and I'm looking forward to just like, you know, getting used to each other again. But it's also really nerve-wracking because I have this routine, I have this schedule, and you know, he's gonna come in and it's going to change everything. And it's honestly like moving in together with somebody again. Like, if I feel like I don't even remember what it was like for him to be in this house, which is really sad. But I'm so looking forward to him coming back because we have so many plans coming up, and I'm just looking forward to starting all of those and starting more adventures to come. And I know Strider is excited to see his dad again. Yeah, today is just a special day, and it's a nice day just to be able to slow down, enjoy some nature, and kind of reflect about how this past 6 months have been, being really independent and alone. My coffee's getting cold, I should probably just drink it. Just got back from walking Strider and now I need to head outside and mow the grass. I haven't done yoga outside in a really long time in the morning because hasn't been warm enough, but this morning was really nice, and yeah, I just can't wait to spend the rest of the summer doing that. I need to mow the grass. I really don't like mowing the grass. It's probably the least favorite thing that I have to do, essentially, because we rent here and we're in an HOA. So unfortunately that has to get done. If it was up to me, I probably would not have that much grass in the backyard. I am going to leave a little strip though, because no mow May is coming up, which is basically where like you find an area in your yard and you don't mow it for the month of May and you just leave it to flourish and see what kind of like wildflowers and different kind of insects that you can bring to that little area. So I'm gonna leave like a strip of the yard just completely unmown, and we'll see what happens in the next few months, and I can go check on my little wildflower patch. And I also need to do a few things with planting in the yard. But yeah, let's go ahead and get mowing. Please don't critique my mowing skills, I just really don't care. Hello from the stairs, because I needed a little break out of the sun for a minute. So last year my city started a composting program that just picks up compost straight from your house. You can put garden stuff, you can put food waste, you can put dirty cardboard, all kinds of things, which is long overdue. I wish every city in the world would start composting, but the great thing about it was that they decided to do a free compost like giveaway essentially, and they also gave away mulch. So last weekend it was actually for an Earth Day event. I mean, today is Earth Day, but they did it last week. So basically you just showed up with whatever bags you had. I just had some like old like potting soil and you know, mulch bags and stuff. I brought those and I was able to fill them up as much as I wanted to, and it was completely free. So I'm going to use some of that compost. I need to add it to some of the plants, and then I'm also going to replant some things, and I've got some mulching to do and some weeding to do. I'm going to leave like the beneficial weeds. I do have some mint that grows wild, and I'm going to leave the mint because I really like to use that with cooking or like mojitos in the summer. I'll get like all the nasty kind of spiky weeds and stuff, and I have agave that goes out of control. It's really annoying. If you ever decide to plant agave in your yard, think if that is the only thing you love. What do you have? Can't do anything with this boy around. Alright, so I really hope you can hear me. I have decided that because I have too many plants out here and not enough space like against this wall right here. I've got some tomatoes, I've got lilac, I've got some strawberries going, some spinach and some spring onion. So I've decided that I've got a lot of stuff here and not enough space, and so I've got this old container that is literally like breaking apart. It is really huge, and I don't want to use all that soil or rocks or something to fill it up. So I'm going to attempt to cut off the top part there just to make it a little bit smaller, so I don't have to use as much like compost and as much mulch to fill it. And I'm going to try and see if that works, and this could be a huge failure and you'll never see this, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh, it's working. Oh, sweet.
Well, that went easier than expected. Much smaller. Much more manageable size now. I've decided to take a break because it is past 1 o'clock and all I've had today is a protein shake, so I actually need a real breakfast. I've left everything a huge mess back here, but that is a problem for future Lauren. Let's eat. You know, you know.
But however,
I mean, it's not that beautiful, but man, it's gonna be delicious. Me and Strider might have had a little nap after that lunch breakfast. Now it's time for me to clean all this up. I don't have clamps, so I'm just gonna try and put some pressure on it with some wine bottles. And I just really hope I don't lose the wine. That'd be tragic. Unfortunately, the black and brown widow spiders really, really love this table, so I have to go through and clean it almost every time that I want to sit down on it. It's pretty annoying, but also necessary. So I ended up not going to the beach, but this isn't a bad trade-off. It's our favorite walk, and it's just still really beautiful right now. The wildflowers are still out. I unfortunately didn't check the tides until later, and in Southern California, you really need to go to the beach in low tide for a lot of beaches if you want to actually have sand to walk on. And especially Strider with his little legs, you know, he doesn't really like to walk in the water that deep. But this isn't a bad trade-off. Alright, so back from the walk, and I had every intention tonight of cooking a nice dinner and sitting down and having a glass of wine, And once I got through the dinner with Strider, probably because I took too long looking at birds, it was starting to get late, and I'm actually really, really tired from just being out in the sun all day. I feel like because I just feel like because it hasn't been warm, I just haven't been outside that much. So I did probably a little bad thing, and I went and I got some Mexican food. So I'm gonna have myself a veggie burrito and some guacamole, and that's going to be my dinner, and I'm so stoked about it. So I was so tired that I didn't film any of my dinner, but afterwards I took a shower and headed into bed. I think it was great that Earth Day coincided with my last day living alone. It gave me a reason to slow down and reflect about the last 6 months. Living alone definitely has its ups and downs, but overall, I think it gave me a sense of power that I can do almost everything by myself. I remember the day after my husband left, how quiet I thought the house was, and I used to hear every little noise, but now I'm just so used to the silence, it's actually really nice. Although there were some really rough days when I felt lonely, there were other days that I just kind of forced myself to get out and explore. Traveling is one of my favorite things to do, and I didn't want to stop just because I didn't have my normal travel partner. I was able to go to Arizona and spend Thanksgiving with some friends. I traveled to South Korea and Singapore by myself, which was really empowering and also a huge challenge. I also did lots of small trips in my county, and I explored lots of new nature spots that I can't wait to share with my husband. I even went skiing for the first time in my life. And although I'm so thankful for all of my solo trips, I can't wait to have my lifelong travel partner back for some more adventures. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.